hitting the ball solid, and if you've gone through the tests and you find that you're not hitting it solid. There's a lot of things that can happen. Maybe I set up and my shoulders are a little bit open. Maybe the face is coming through a little bit sideways. Maybe I'm kind of pushing on it. Maybe I'm coming out of posture a little bit. So let's go through some very basic checkpoints that will help us kind of get ourselves set up properly, right? So I've got our putting alignment system here, which is the leading one on the tour, and it is because it's simple and it's fundamentally sound. And it starts with a mirror where I can align the mirror to the hole. So hitting it solid, I start with proper alignment. I look down in the mirror and I can see my face in the mirror, and I can see that my eyes are over that center line. That's a good solid position to start from. And I can look in the bottom part of the mirror and I can see that my shoulders are square. Why is setup important to hitting it solid? Because if I start off where the putter is on the ball in the center of the face and I'm squared up, my putter just has to move back and through. If I'm open, if I'm bringing it outside the path, now all sorts of weird things have to happen. So the first thing you want to do is to check your setup position. Use a mirror or somebody else or something, but make sure that you can set up where you're set up solidly and square to the hole, so you have a chance to just bring it back and run it through. Use the mirror or something like that. Also on the mirror is a rail that helps me bring the putter back and through. We call that path. And that's an important part as well, because if I can bring the putter back and then back to the same place, I'm going to hit it in the center of the face. So let's start there with hitting it solid, and then we'll see what happens next. So one of the other drills that you can do with the mirror, I've taken the rail off because I want to do a drill that we're familiar with now. We call it the putter gate, and in the mirror there's a couple of slots to be able to set that gate up. But the key is that now I can look down in the mirror, check my eyes, check my shoulders, make sure that I'm lined up properly, and then I can learn to swing the putter through that gate. That's a great drill because I don't have any particular training wheels, so to speak, on my stroke. So now I can set up, check my eyes, check my shoulder. I've got that putter gate, learn to swing the putter through that gate. That's a great drill for hitting it solid because the putter has to travel properly as the result of a good setup. So another thing that prevents me from making a good stroke, or a solid stroke, solid contact, is if that putter, let's say the shaft is leaned back, I'm going to catch it high on the ball, low on the face, we call that. That's not good. Sometimes we'll see that the putter will, we call it break down, where my hands kind of flip at the bottom. And that's no good either. So one of the things that really can help me check that to see how I'm doing is something that we call the pendulum putting rod. And the idea with the putting rod is that it goes on the back of the putter, goes into my sternum, but it absolutely prevents me. I can't go like that because it'll poke me. So the idea is it's going to give me a checkpoint to see if I can make a stroke that I don't break down, and that the alignment of the shaft and the rod are consistently the same. That gives me good loft. So when I do that, when I'm trying to hit it solid, I make a stroke that stays nice and level to the ground. My shoulders rock, no flipping of the hands, and it makes it so that, very simply, I can set up to it and make a stroke that really rolls the ball properly. That's one of the keys of hitting it solid, is to maintain the radius of that stroke. So check that and then use the pendulum rod as a drill to keep me set up solid. I think one of the other things that I see as a preventer of hitting it solid is if my stroke length is too long back and too short through, or it's too short back and too long through. It would look like this. We see a lot of times that, or we see that motion. And what happens is my muscles get all goofed up. They don't know whether they're coming or going. So we want to build a stroke that's sort of balanced. We call it with the speed board, where you can see the different color blocks, that the putter is moving back to the yellow to yellow, red to red, black to black, roughly exactly the same. But the thing I want to communicate to you about hitting it solid as a result of that balanced stroke is that my muscles have an easy time doing that. They go back and they change transition and they go forward. But I don't have any tension in them because I'm going way too far back and then trying to slow it down. No, or I'm taking it back too short, trying to jump into it. I can make a nice balanced stroke back and through, which leads to solid contact. So check that for solid, see if that might be the culprit why you can't hit it consistently in the center of the face.